being able to provide a voice for the marginalized, a platform that facilitates the free and open flow of information, the promotion of democracy within the media world, and the education of the populace through specifically tailored programs. Call us at 459 7200 or 731 4833. 88.5 Super FM, your voice, your life.
Casualty 911, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with the consultant. Health is not merely the absence of diseases. It is your social, economic, physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. Just imagine you on 88.5 Super FM talking, questioning, sharing your experience, information, education, entertainment, news, instructions, advice on diabetes, high blood pressure, strokes, menopause, AIDS, pregnancy, sex.
Sex? Did you say sex?
As prescribed, take your medication, exercise, and diet. On 88.5 Super FM, tell a friend, call your neighbor. Casualty 911 is on.
Eight minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. This is where we say good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Welcome inside another edition of Casualty 911. Of course, guys, if it's a Monday between the hours of 10 and 11, Casualty 911 is on right here. And of course, can only be heard on Super 80.5 FM or 80.5 Super FM. After all, it's your voice, your life. Let me say a warm welcome, of course, good morning to you, Miss Wilson.
Thank you, Erlan. Although it's not warm inside of here, it's very, very cold.
We come and get it like that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. That's okay. I'm enjoying the cold because, outside is pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
Very humid indeed. So let me say good morning to all our listeners. I would like to say a special good morning to MNC Pharmacy. Good morning, our caretakers, our council workers, Conry's residents, Choiseul residents, persons that are listening to us, our bus drivers, taxi drivers. We want to say a special good morning to you and to your family. And for students that are home this morning, we want to say good morning, and we hope that you're taking that opportunity to do some revision. School is not over. We know you had missed out a lot on school. So take some time to be in your books whilst on the Easter break and manage your time wisely. In the midst of everything, take some time to enjoy yourself also. Sometimes it's not always about being in your books, but you need to enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. Obey your parents and make sure you do what you're supposed to do. Play your part at home. Having said that, Erlan, we know how it is during the Easter break. Persons tend to, especially our children, they want to enjoy themselves. Teachers likewise, feel
A little break.
the break
yes.
is such a good thing. But we want to be mindful of all these things, and safety is key. Safety is priority amidst everything else. I mean, we want everybody to remain safe. This morning, we have a general topic. At the beginning of the year, we spoke about managing one's health. And throughout the few months that we've had, and we've been going around in the communities, speaking to persons, realize a lot of persons continue having health problems. Some persons might choose to ignore it. Some people are afraid to seek medical attention. Some people kind of keep it away from their family members and loved ones. Some people are seeing the signs and symptoms of these medical conditions and they tend to be in denial. Some persons might listen to what friends or family members might say, so that might keep them away from seeking medical attention.
Stigma attached to it.
Yeah, there are stigmas attached. So, having said that, we want persons to be mindful of all these things. Knowing is beautiful. If you know what you have, then you're able to treat it at an early stage and you can live your life normal. Then, if you do not know what you have, you end up getting sick. You need to seek medical attention. You're putting that pressure on your family members, your loved ones, financial and emotional burden on your family members, your loved ones. It is so much difficult to cope with.
Knowing is better.
Yes, very much so. So, sa nou ka di bon matin, nou ve moun pou responsabilité pou santé yo. Et puis, pas ça nous mine, on chayan nous, ka ouais nous ni sin maladie ya, nous pas vay ouais docteur. On chayan nous ka koute ça, Jean ka di, famille ka di, et nous pas kay ouais docteur. On chayan nous, pay ouais docteur, because nous kay di kon well, si moi ouais docteur, nan pou différentes qualités médication ni des trois side effects, et pour percer side effects ça là, so on chay moun ka wete la kayo, yo ha sav ki sin maladi yo ni, de le maladi en famille yo, mais yo ka wete jisa tan maladi a mauvais en le yo, et puis yo pa ni yon choice pour we yo ni pour we docteur, et puis c'est laisse ça là, yo ni pour spend plus l'argent. Et puis, l'autre bagay là, il ka me pli on burden en les famille ou, en les ou, et puis en les poche ou. So, nous ka mande moun pour make sure yo fait ça yo ni pour faire. So, bon matin, moi vais parler about, même ça, nous toujours ka parler by moun about. Nous ka mande pour manger bien. Et pas manger bien, nous ka mande pour maintain on healthy weight. Nous avons nutritionists qui have in on the radio program parler about healthy weight, and we have a nutritionist or a nutrition officer at the wellness center which can assist you with that. So sous sav ou overweight et bon ni top weight, et bien ou realize ou pas ka manger bien. Ou sa aller dans health center, faire appointment, et puis nutrition officer. Et bien, nos la kay guide ou, ale sa pou faire. So, yo ka manger, ou ni pou manger fruit ou ni pou manger légumes ou ni pou manger proteins ou ni pou manger tout manger en di dans right proportion. Dernière fois, nous parler about, ou pas obligé à un supermarket la gen tout ça ou besoin. Ou ça fait backyard gardening. Ou ça servi même piment ou gen, seasoning pepper ou gen, ou ça servi même gwen pour planter en bokay. Même tomatoes là ou gen, sou gen $5 tomatoes, ou ça prend même gwen tomatoes ça, simen et puis planter bokay. So en manière ça là, il ka pli meilleur pour ou because ou ka sav ki sa ou ka manger. Et puis on chay moun commencer ka faire ces bagay ça là. On chay moun pa sav. On chay moun sav. Le yo planté bagay bokay yo sav exactly sa yo ka manje. Et nou ka encourage moun pour planter légumes bokay yo.
Organic, you know them kind of things, no,
You know? So you reduce on the chemical level.
Right.
Ou pa kay servi kante chemical normal farmer kay servi. Ou pa kay servi fertilizer ko normal farmer kay servi. Ou pe ka servi compost. Ou ça fait différents bagay et pas faire ça. Ça c'est une de ces manières où ça really stress too. Home gardening. So when you do participate in home gardening, it helps you release stress. It helps the body also. Because sometimes it gives you a little peace of mind in doing it. So it has the benefits. All right? So, l'autre bagay nou ka mande moun nan c'est exercise. Exercise. On chayan le nou ka di moun pou exercise et nou même pa ka fey. However, pa ka de sa moun ka fey pou di kon ou ka di moi fey pou même pa ka fey. But exercise c'est un bagay qui kan empêcher on chay différents maladies. I ka empêcher ou mettre weight. I ka aider ou the blood sugar, blood pressure, et des fois kalte problème chair, maladie chair. Tout ces bagay ça là important pour exercise.
So somebody will hear you saying exercise. Does it really have to be harsh exercise?
No, no, no. It doesn't have to be harsh exercise. A little simple 30 minutes exercise around your house. These days they have all things on the internet. Walk a mile, 30 minutes. You can do that in the house. Everybody have smart TVs or on their phones. You can do that. Or you can walk around the house. Adam mwen kan te travay kay na fe monte up and down mwen ak exercise. Non. Different body moun ni different tepe waman. So, si body ou habitue epi monte desen nan kay la, toute la vi ou, sa pa ase exercise pour body ya. On ni pou fe timiyet pli. Ou kompon? Epi la ni different exercise. So, ou nyon mal jam, ou nyon mal jounou, ou sa fait different exercise ka acide. Ou pas obligé di comme moi non mal j'aime ma exercise ma marcher. Because ou ka wè se moun sa la ki ni mal j'aime mal jounou, yo ka me pli weight. Because yo pa ka exercise et puis pa ka move around ko yo supposé move around.
Okay.
So ça servi different bagay acide ou ka allonger la main en l'air, ou ka main en l'air side, ou ka bay corps mouvement, ou ka tourner cou, ka fait different bagay pour aider ou lose weight. Dele la on les couche là ni different exercise ou ça fait. Et pour pas briser feuille ou yon, ou ça met pad nan pour faire pour, ou ça ni ti hichou ka faire pour, ou ça ni l'autre maman famille ou ka faire pour. Et puis c'est comment nous ka apprendre pour faire bagay et ka là nous commencer ka faire, il ka difficile. Mais à mesure nous continuer body nous ka vinn habitué. So si là nous te exercise, nous te ka faire at least 15 minutes là nous just commencer. À mesure là nous continuer, nous ka commencer 30 minutes là, then nous ka juste aller pour nedit because body nous ka vinn habitué tellement. Et then nous ka really enjoy to swear. Because in there on chaya nous pas ka swear pièce. So in there nous ka senti body tellement différent là ou exercise. So se yon se bagay la nou ka mande moun pou fe. Bon. L'autre bagay la nou ka mande ou la se pou boire on chay glo. On chay moun pa konten boire glo. Pour yo boire glo, yo ni pou mette pije on bagay an di dain. Coloring. Eve yo ve boire juice. Yo ka ouve fridge la, yo ka boire mizi juice. Mais le pou boire glo a tout moun ka koui. So se yon se bagay la nou ve moun boire pli glo. Ou pas obligé boire juice tous les jours. Alors moun ka di ma ha fait sans juice, ma ha manger sans juice. Ou qui habitué corps et puis même manière habitué corps et puis body ou et puis juice la même manière ou ça déshabitué corps et puis. So boire un chay glo important. So nous ve moun faire ces bagay ça là. L'autre bagay la c'est si ou ka fumer ou ni pour try pour do bout fumer. Si ou ka fumer, try pour do bout fumer, et puis pour ça aider bord, because fumer ka ba on chay di fois maladie. Expressement cigarette. So si ou ka fumer, ou ka fumer, ou sa fumer 2 pack pa Hillsborough. What's the new thing now?
But there's Embassy.
Embassy.
There's
Viceroy. Pli try pour reduce sans les fumer, because nous savons moun ti ka fumer, il difficile pour yo quitter. Mais plus ou commence à fumer moins cigarette par journée, il ka plus meilleur pour. Et puis l'autre bagay là, moun ti pa ka fumer, pa rester bon moun ti ka fumer. Because là ou ka rester bon moun ki ka fumer, ou ka inhale même bagay let moun. Et pour même ça ni cancer. Là non chay moun ka di yo pa même fumer cigarette dans la vie, mais yet still you ni lung cancer. Because they're always by smokers.
So
Second-hand smoking. So it's very, very, very important that if you're a smoker, do not smoke around other people and try to reduce on the cigarette smoking. And by doing that, you can now smoke less and eventually you might be able to quit smoking. I know it's not an easy thing, but at the same time, it is very important that you do it. L'autre bagay la nouve moun fè a c'est faire un petit visite pour aller docteur. Because l'âge quand tu es, En fact, tous les l'année, nous n'y pouvons faire medical nous. Mais, on chaye nous pas qu'à aller faire medical nous. Et puis, l'âge quand tu es body, nous pas ni vitesse la qu'on était ni avant. So, plus en plus, nous vini plus l'âge, body a pas ni vitesse la qu'on était ni avant. So, il bon pour aller voir docteur. Et puis, là, quand il voir docteur, là, ni différents bagages où ça fait. Ou ça check zio tous les l'année. Because on dit dans ces health center ni eye clinic ou ça find out qui joue en qui health center là ni c'est eye clinic là ou ça fait ça ou ça on y pour check down tous les 6 mois ou ça venir dans souffre hospital là pour venir check down faire appointment pour venir check down et bon ça là on private dentist ou on chaye nous aller private dentist nous venir check down tous les 6 mois. Gade qui manière qui ça caleb dans bien sou pas ni dents ou pas bien manger et ou pas ve bouchou ni on vie l'ode. So toutes ces bagages ça là important.
22 minutes after 10, guys. If you want to make a contribution, remember you're gonna call us at 730-5388. All right, we're inside Casualty 911 today's edition.
So thank you Erlan. L'autre bagage là ou ça fait docteur about on series of tests. Ou ça fait des tests en cholestérol ou ça dit ou veut check kidneys ou ça check lungs ou de là on y pour assis de parler by docteur. Dit docteur qui laisse lifestyle ou à vivre. Sous c'est un monde qui te ka boire un chai warm, qui te ka fumer un chai ou son monde qui ka live on promiscuous lifestyle de là il veut voir STI test. Ou ça based on ça docteur ka voit faire différents tests. Qui manière ou ka manger sous côté man chai viande ou côté man chai bay fruit toutes ces bagages ça là based on le lifestyle ou docteur ka recommend différents blood tests ba ou et ben x-ray et ben ultrasound et ben ça obligé pour faire. So when you sit down and you discuss with the doctor your lifestyle, he'll be able to better assist you. So, on y pour ni un petit rapport et puis docteur. Pas peur demander docteur question, pas peur parler by docteur. Dès là ou aller de yon docteur ou pas te confortable. Mais ça pas mean ou pas aller de un l'autre. Différents moun ni différents rapports et puis différents moun. So dès là ou peut aller à l'hôpital sous fouiller ou peut ouais yon docteur ou ka dit ça va pas sans moi hein. Mais on l'autre jour aller de on l'autre ça dit ouais moi te plié mes docteurs ça là. So de là ou peut aller de yon ou pas really satisfait et bien de là ou peut aller dans l'autre et pour ka plus satisfait puis service là ben là tout le monde ka bay différents services. So on y pour connaître manière pour parler pour ça un bon service. Il y a des gens qui ont un docteur et puis on a dit comment "Whoa, what you laughing at?"
Just laughing. Just the way you say it. Ou que vous connaître comme vous parler pour un bon service.
Oui, on y pour connaître manière pour parler pour un bon service. And that goes both ways, Erlan. When you with your partner, you can speak, you can say exactly what you want done so you can get a good service.
Okay.
I know that's what Erlan was rallying to.
No, not
And
really.
all of that can help reduce your stress, Erlan.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you never thought I would have been so
No.
articulate when it comes to that one.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, and Erlan get me sidetracked, ni wa pour être docteur, ni on ti wa pour être nurse. Comme d'où, de là pas confortable avec yon, mais ou confortable avec l'autre là. So, based on ça, ou ça fait ça on y pour faire. L'autre bagage là nous ka demander moun c'est pour check blood pressure et puis sikou. On chay moun peut venir health center vin check blood pressure. Ou ha sav ou ni blood pressure en famille ou ha commencé ouais sin blood pressure. Ou ha ouais commencé ouais sin blood pressure. De là on oste ha check blood pressure combien l'année en haut et puis te pressure haut. Yo te dou vie ou pas te jamais vie. Et puis après on vie ou hen blood pressure même même manière. Li do pa ka dou Ça son red flag.
Hmm.
Hein? So, bes an lè sa, sou wè preche a ho, ep nos la dou viye deme, ebe viye an 3 jou an si men nan kon pou gade manye preche a ye. Pa hesitate pou vini check pressure ou. Because de lè ou ni high blood pressure, de lè ou pa ni piyes, de lè son bay te ka trigger. But bes an lè sa, de lè yo sa rekomend ou pou ay wè dokte ya. On chay an nou ka souffert pi high blood pressure. Nom ko fam. Ada moun, le yo tan yo ni high blood pressure, yo ka kouye bwe tout wimed wazi. Ep yo ka oubliye koyo. Ep de le yo pa ha control li. La ni ada moun, de lo ka ten moun ka di kwa, ki mene jen nom sa teni stroke la? Ki mene jen nom sa la vini heart attack? Ki mene sa fet la? But de le, moun sa ka souffre high blood pressure pou pa sav an yin about sa, et pou kantite l'année, il ni problème ça là, et puis pas te ka traiter maladie. So, laisse ça là, nous kamande moun, sou sav ou ni en famille ou commence ka ouais, ou ni sin high blood pressure, vini a health center because it's free of charge.
Okay, another thing, in case the person has no knowledge about what the signs and symptoms are, what are they?
So, Erlan, sometimes you feel dizzy, you suffer with headaches. These are one of, or you feel a little faintish, fatigue. So all of these things are signs of high blood pressure. A lot of people, they know they are constant headaches and so on, but yet still they tend not to seek medical attention.
Okay.
You can always come to the wellness center. It's free of charge. Let the nurse guide you. Now, when these things happen, when you have high blood pressure, the nurse normally gives you a little strip of paper and asks you to come back, or she tells you, monitor it. She gives you some guidance, cut down on the sugar, like Mrs. Campbell said, start eating better, start exercising. They tell you what to do. When they check your pressure and your pressure is high, or if your pressure is low too, they don't just let you go. They give you a short little counseling on what to do at home. So a lot of persons are aware, but they tend to be in denial. They tend to think of the side effects of the medication. They tend to feel if they have high blood pressure, everything is over and done with. But it's not so. A lot of people live with high blood pressure all their lives. And they take their medication and they live a normal life.
Oh, nice.
So you have to think of all these things and so on. You don't wait when the thing is really, really bad that you say, usab many pressure, and a lot of things many things that persons do is when they're on the blood pressure medication, they tend not to take the medication as prescribed. You can skip jou. Jou yo ni pou ay fet, yo ka skip jou, yo pa ka pon remed la. Ebe yo ka di mwen ni pou alan le mouvment mwen, ma ka pon pressure medication nan. Si ou ni problem sa la, pale bay pharmacist la. Ou pale bay docteur ou. Si remed la yo ba ou pressure, pa ka le pou pale bay docteur, ebe pale bay pharmacist la. Ebe pharmacist la kay guide ou. Me pa di kouan, yo dou pon yon pills, point yon pills et pourquoi point half ou pas docteur ou pas pharmaciste qui manie ou ka fait point bay la pa kon on dit pour parler bay docteur about ça.
And Miss Wilson, it's not just only because of that ailment in particular. Like most times when they prescribe medication to us, it's a dosage, right?
Yes.
So we have to take the full up until it's done.
Especially your antibiotics.
Up until it's done.
Up until it's done.
All right.
But some people, when they start feeling better, they kind of forget about it.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
And that is what it is.
That is wrong.
So the other thing is, when you come to our wellness center, they will check your blood sugar. Once they check your blood sugar, they say it's high, they recommend that you seek medical attention, or they recommend that you see the doctor. There are things you have to do if you become diabetic. Sometimes they might tell you pre-diabetic, or or they tell you flat out you're already diabetic and you need to start taking better care of yourself. A lot of people, when they hear that they're diabetic, all fall down. There is no reason, like I said, if you have any illness, you cannot live a normal life unless it's something like a cancer or something that is very detrimental to your health and you're in the final stages. So some people are diabetic for more than 15 and 20 years, and you can never tell if these people are diabetics. So being a diabetic, you have to ensure that you check your glucose level, you take your medication, you go to the eye specialist, you go to the diabetic retinopathy clinics, and that's available in Library. You can always call the Library Health Center at least once a year. You can come in, check the podiatrist for your feet, because with diabetes, a lot of us tend to lose our toes, our feet, and so on. So therefore, you can always come and make an appointment with the podiatrist, especially if the nurse suspect of something that needs attention. They will recommend that you see the podiatrist.
And I don't think a lot of persons would want to resort to amputation.
Not many people, but some people are very careless. When they're diabetic, they tend to walk without shoes even in the house. And they keep on saying this: once you're diabetic, you wear comfortable shoes and you don't walk in the house without shoes outside or anywhere else. There are different types of things you have to do to ensure you take care of your feet. Foot care is very, very important when you're diabetic.
Somebody listening, somebody might be asking you, but why? Why just the foot and not other parts of the body?
Because, Erlen, you tend to knock your toes fast. And when you see you diabetic, when you have a blister or any other thing, it takes time to heal. Because you always see persons that are diabetic have these kind of bandages. They go for and get dressed at the health center. They always go for them to clean the wounds. It takes time. It's because of everything else. You have to be careful because you tend to knock your toe. The way you cut your nails. I mean, the way you wash your feet and you wipe your feet and so on. There is so much into foot care when it comes to that being a diabetic that you have to learn, because sometimes you bathe, the way you wipe your feet, the type of socks you wear, the type of shoes, all of these are very important, because if you don't wear comfortable shoes, it can cause blisters. All of that is part of it.
True.
And a lot of our children, many of our children they suffer with type 1 diabetes. And more and more it's becoming more rampant. And parents, you have to know what you're giving your children to eat at a very early age, because you don't want to have a young child that is diabetic. And that is what we've been advocating. The different type of snacks that you give the children, the different types of foods that you give the children, and so on, is very important. Because some children grow up not knowing what a corncle is, or cheese balls, or a lollipop is. None of these things. Or how they call it, the gummy bears,
Okay.
and all of these things. Some children are brought up eating their fruits, their vegetables, their cucumbers. Some children, they hardly have snacks in their bag.
Healthy
They have
eating.
just plain guava, whatever is in season, oranges, and so on. And that's what their parents give them. You understand? So you as a parent, it's not only adults, you have, when you think of diabetes,
Right.
you have to think of our children too. A lot of our children eat a lot of fried foods, the KFC, the pizza, and so on. And that can lead to obesity. And all of these things we have to be mindful of.
True.
The other thing is, there are different groups that give you support, emotional support. If you know you're diabetic or you're hypertensive, they have the hypertensive and diabetic clinic at the wellness center. So you meet with other people that have these same issues, and you tend to blend with them, and you hear their concerns. You might have the same concern, or you might have other concerns, and together you get that support from each other. Sometimes when we talk about we have different diseases or illnesses, we tend not to get our support groups. Our support groups are very, very important to deal with the situation at the time. So I've spoken about your daily checks and so on. The other thing I want to speak about is just um, in a nutshell is that at all the wellness centers, they want to offer the self-management program for long healthy living. Now, I think last year, Fawn and we were trying to get one of the nurses that is very instrumental in that program to come and speak about that program a bit. You can register for that program. I know some time ago they had it in Delse. So the diabetic group enrolled in that chronic disease self-management program. What it does, it helps you control your health. So if you diagnose with a chronic disease, let's say you're hypertensive, you suffer with high blood pressure or diabetes, it tells you what to do and how to cope with it. It doesn't have to be you as the person that has high blood pressure or diabetes. It can be the family member or the loved one taking care of that person can also enroll. So sa nou ka di kon lan yon program, yo ve fe an di dan health center. It's a chronic disease self-management program. E pi program sa la, ka ale pou 6 simen, ou sa fe ni online, yo te ni online, ni si health center ni ase moun, yo ka fe an health center ba ou. E pi program sa la, ou pa oblige sa li ekwi. Yo ka moucho manye pou manage maladi ou, ep sa ou sa fe pou manage maladi ou. Et ti bagay sa la, même si ou pa ni maladi ya, si ou pa ni high blood pressure, ou pa ni sik la, ou moun nan ki ka point ka moun nan, sa enroll an program sa la tou. Because on chayan nou, pa ni maladi ya, mais nou ka point ka de le, papa nou, maman nou, se nou ep fwen, nou ep hish nou ep maladi sa la. So nou sa prime ede se moun sa la pou help control maladi ya. Because de le se moun sa ki ni maladi ya, excuse me, i pli difficile pou yo because de le ou toujou ni pou an le do yo. E de le ou toujou an le do yo, sa pa means ou ka di yo right manya pou fe se bagay la, approach you pa kay right approach la. So, an di dan kos sa la, i ka moucho manya pou fe tout se bagay sa la, manya pou sa ede se moun sa la primehe. So, nou ka mande moun ti an te wese, ou sa ale an dan health center, ou pale bay nos la, e pi apre sa yo kay enroll moun ti an te wese, e pi yo sa ni program la, an di dan wellness center. Bon, sa se an program ti très important because on chayan nou kan di fwa maladi nou pa konet manye pou dilep maladi ya, nou pa konet manye pou ede moun ti ni maladi ya. So you can always call your wellness centers or go to your nurse at the different wellness center and ask about the chronic disease self-management program. Or you can call the Bureau of Health Education at 468-5349 for more information. Feel free to do so. It is a very, very good program, and persons who have done that program, I must admit, they have learned quite a lot. And the reason why I'm saying that is, wezona di moun ti ha fe program sa la, connaître un chay because l'année passée moi te del se et puis un moun vin bay an vin parler bay yo about un particular topic. Et since yo te ha fait programme ça là, on chay se moun an te sa répond presque toute question. In fact, information madame la te ka bay yo même te ha connaître information. So, amizi madame la ka parler, amizi yo même ka parler, et puis yo même ka bay même information madame la te ka bay là, et puis yo vin connaître bagay la tellement bien. Et puis pas faire ça, yo connaître primaire pour control sick yo, et puis high blood pressure yo. And that is one group at the Delse Wellness Center. I must admit, the hypertensive and diabetic group is very, very active. And we're hoping that if you know you have the issue, join the hypertensive and diabetic group at your wellness centers. It will be very, very important that you do so. I know Nurse Sam is trying to have an exercise program at the Itangs Wellness Center. So if persons are interested, feel free to join in. Find out what days and what time she's offering it and join the bandwagon. Take some time to do some exercising. You can be coming from work or whatever it is. I know there are specific time. I think it is very, very good that, that initiative came about to assist persons within the community. Alan, I'm surprised I've been doing so much talking. And
No,
I'm
it's
not
good. It's good because right now you've been very informative.
Yes.
A lot of things I was kind of ignorant or didn't know, was knowledgeable about. I'm getting to know, so that's good. And I know the persons on the outside are very grateful for you being here disseminating those informations.
Wonderful. So, l'autre bala m'avait parlé about la c'est stress. On chaye nou ni on chaye stress. Et puis, nous ka aller, nous ka faire tout ça nous pour faire tous les jours. Nous ka prendre ka famille nous ka prendre ka l'autre monde. Mais nous pas ka prendre temps pour prendre ka on corps nous. Et puis, throughout l'année, c'est ça nous ka fait. Prendre ka l'autre monde et pas ni temps pour corps nous. So nous ve moun point temps qui nom qui femme qui mamay point temps pour corps. Fait un bagay ou content fait. Pas boire woman, on cherche moun kote boire wom, but c'est pas tellement wom. Fait un bagay, aller en souffle là, aller dans ce waterfall là. La kani cricket matches, la kani football matches dans ces commune. Aller acide, veillon de ti cricket match ou be football match. Ou ça? Visit a friend. Do something that you really enjoy because you need these things. A lot of us, we have that burden carrying where we have to do everything for everybody else and we forget about our own self. Take some time, go to the spa, get a massage. You can do that. You can go to the salon, sit down, do your hair, do your nails. Treat yourself. Like I was saying to Fonje Jacques Men's health fair, a lot of the men, you give the ladies the money to go to the salon, to do their nails, to do everything else. But you as a man refuse to do it yourself. You men and women alike. Take some time to do your toes.
Pamper yourself.
Yes, pamper yourself, like Erlan said. It doesn't have to be just the ladies.
You understand?
The men too take some time to do things for yourself. Et ça pas bay makoume.
Yeah.
On cherche moun ka di se bay makoume. Non, ça bay makoume.
Wrong for that. A massage, a pedicure. Those
Yes.
simple things.
Simple things. Go to the salon, wash your hair. Men now have long hair. Look at Erlan's hair. Take some time to get a little massage of the scalp. That feels so good. So we're asking persons to de-stress. Sit down, relax. You can join the gym. All of these things are very, very important. So a lot of persons, yes, they're at home, but they have that high level of stress that is very detrimental to their health. And the issue is we don't make time for ourselves. So if, like we say, on a Sunday, that's my me time, instead of going and cook all these foods, the mac and cheese, the bake this, the bake that, you do a one pot and you take the rest of the day to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You wash your face, you do all kinds of things that you need to do. And that's what we're asking person, because a lot of persons suffer with tension, they suffer with stress, and they don't even realize it themselves. Some person saying, why do I have a headache every morning? Why do I feel my back hurting me or my chest? And all the time it's just our level of stress that is high. You do all that blood test, all that x-ray, all the ultrasound, and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because you stressed out. So you need to take some time to laugh. Right, Erlan?
I concur.
Laughter is the
Therapy for the soul.
therapy for the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they have slack on the protocols. But ada moun ka oubliye la ni COVID. La still ni COVID. To see the number of people that congregate, they don't wear their mask and so on. Be mindful. COVID is still there. I know we're seeing low numbers, but COVID is still there. A lot of persons I've been speaking to is now suffering from long COVID. Remember I spoke about that sometime,
Mm-hmm.
Erlan?
You did.
So an chay moun ti teni COVID, ko protokol la tiet relax, tout moun a tout bram se joua. Yo os do tout la nuit a tout fet. Yo ka oubliye koyo. Ma di ada moun pa hale a enjoy koyo, ep enjoy la vi yo. Ko di se moun ka motop vit ou ni pou fe bagay pou enjoy ko. Me an mem ni tan, COVID still la, pa oubliye sa.
Mm-hmm.
Et moun ti ni ko ti te hen COVID avant, on chayan yo ka souffert et puis long COVID. So, et puis long COVID là, yo ka still senti whole corps yo ka fait yo mal, yo ka still senti yo ni la fièvre, yo ka still senti yo pa ha bien breathe. Ada moun ka hen blood clot. Ada moun ka hen tout kalite différent bagay because yo ka suffer from long COVID. So, on est pour be mindful of tout ces bagay sa là. Continuez mettre masque ou sous sav ou à dans place ko ou brise mettez masque ou mettez masque ou. Pas vin déshabituer ko et puis masque là. Moi même délai tout ka di ko bon Dieu ou ça m'a fait sans masque moi. In délai moi même ka mande moi pour break from masque là. But however, you have to be mindful that COVID is still around. And Erland doesn't like to wear his mask not one bit. I do not know why. Il pas qu'à habituer quoi. Mais si t'as chain, ben you know c'est côté ça il te même masqué, because il a no choice.
If I comment on that this morning that show will go another direction.
So
let's just leave it as that.
So what I am saying is all these things you have to be mindful of. Let us not change our behaviors too quick, because certain things are still around and we need to be mindful of all these things.
True.
Having said that, let me just remind you all that the vaccines are still available. The COVID-19 vaccines are still available. Today at Soufre, Mondays and Fridays. La Fag is on Thursdays. Boy, I forget what day Magouche and Delsa is offering it, but then you can always call to find out what days that they're offering it for the COVID-19 vaccines. I know a lot of us tend to forget about the vaccine, but it is still available for those persons who are interested in taking the vaccines. And don't forget, some countries you still have to be fully vaccinated. For persons who are interested in traveling for the summer, you need to be fully vaccinated to enter some countries. So be mindful of all these things. So this morning, I just want persons to be mindful of all these things. I'm asking that men and women alike take responsibility for your health, because at the end of the day, like I said, you don't want it to cause a financial strain on your family members, on your loved ones, as well as the emotional implications as well. And a lot of people don't realize it until that they're actually ill and they cannot do for themselves, and somebody has to take care of them. Be mindful of all of that, and I wish everybody a safe and pleasant day, an enjoyable week, and I hope that everything goes well for everyone this week. And for the Easter, let me just say,
Easter
I won't
weekend.
be there on Easter Monday. It's a holiday.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
next week Monday. For persons who, we're asking persons to drink less, be mindful of your behavior, and if you're drinking, do not drive. Right, Erlan? Um, Accidents do happen, but we know around the Easter and so on, these holidays, that persons tend to drink more, they tend to fat more. So the young persons as well as the older persons, be mindful of your behavior, your drinking habits, your eating habits. Even though for persons who eat, they tend to eat the meat that is not well cooked and they can get sick also. We want persons to be mindful of all these things. And it doesn't hurt to stay home and have some
Family.
cool, clean family fun.
But if on a wrong Easter, you'd have less meat around this time. It's more,
No, after Easter, when Easter Sunday, that's the go ahead time for meat.
Okay.
All now, so it's in the Lent season, so you're
Right.
not supposed to eat meat.
Right.
But Easter Sunday for Catholics and so on,
Okay.
that is the red light there. You can start eating your meat thereafter.
And plenty of penny piece.
Penny piece. I don't see that anymore,
Yeah,
Erlan.
there you go
Do
again.
they still make it?
I don't know. But you used to get around Easter time. You used to get
Yeah,
a lot
penny
penny
piece.
piece.
A lot of fish cakes. Oh boy.
You not ready.
Boy, don't put me by a fish cake and tell me fry fish cake for you. The first 10 or 20, I alone eating it. But don't practice that, people. Too many
For real.
fried foods. But at that time, you tend to get carried away.
Yep.
Just the smell of the fish cake. Oh my God.
Nice aroma, man.
Yeah, so that's it. So be mindful of what you eat, what you drink. I mean, you don't want to indulge too much in the fatty and the fried foods or the meat and the alcohol. So be mindful of all of that. Having said that, let me tell everybody goodbye.
Just before you say your goodbye, let me say our friends over in the diaspora locking it down from Dominica. Big up to our people all the way in Dominica locking it down.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Dominica.
Maryland, of course, USA Marco, good morning. Let me shout out to Dominica. Let me shout out to Baby Ross. They're locked on. They're from St. Lucia, but they reside.
Yeah.
Well, so they're working over there in Dominica. Shout out to Silvina Simeon, who's locked in as well. All right. And to all other persons locking it down at this point in time.
Thank you, our persons on Facebook, Alan. Oh, thank you so very much for listening. I guess some of you are constant listeners to our program. So thank you again, and we hope that you continue listening to our program. And feel free to give feedback.
Yep.
Many times we have our program, but we don't get feedback from persons out there. So we really appreciate it.
Only when you start hitting the streets, like, hey, the program was lovely. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It was very
some
informative.
people
And
say
then,
that, which is very, very good. And some people, they might not see my face, but by hearing my voice, they might say, oh, that's the voice on the radio. So, but I'm really, really happy. I guess some of the programs have really changed for us. I mean, it has changed persons' lives. It has made them more aware of what they need to do, what they shouldn't do. And some people really enjoy that kind of education. And I'm happy that we can make a difference in persons' lives.
Okay.
So, goodbye, our listeners.
And of course, I want to thank you guys for always taking the time out to being part of our family. I was locking it down to Super 80.5 if you with Super 5 FM. Of course, all you guys driving around town all the other way around, you guys via locked on via cellular phones. I want to say thank you, thank you again for being part of our family, and thanks for taking us with you wherever you go. Again, I want to thank you,
Thank
Miss
you,
Wilson,
Erland, for being here with me
for
today.
always managing your time in order to make time to be here.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. Again, till next. Well, not next week because she's Easter Monday. She's gonna be out.
Yeah, it's a
So
holiday.
a
Isn't it a
holiday.
holiday?
All
Yeah.
right. So day
But
after.
hopefully next week,
Mhm.
the 25th, we will either have um, a topic on mental health or hopefully substance abuse. Either one.
Yeah, and that's too powerful topic that we
Yes.
need to touch on and we need to discuss. All right.
Very much so.
And I would love if you bring a guest as well because
Yes,
all
I
right.
intend on being a guest.
Very nice, very nice.
You
Anyway,
enjoy the guest?
yeah, because sometimes persons go through things you thought like maybe boy you didn't want to do, or somebody on the outside think, but you know, I didn't want to talk about that. But no, here's somebody actually giving a testimony, like saying that they went through that and then how they overcome. So all those things, especially substance abuse and of course mental health, boy. Sometimes when you as a man or you come out and you start talking about boy what you're going through mentally, person tend to make fun out of you.
Yeah,
or,
that's true.
You understand? So those topics we need to highlight. You understand?
Thank you, Erland.
All right, you're welcome. Enjoy. Have a
All
good
right,
one.
then. Bye-bye.